Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mang. Welcome back to Mang Plays the Best Games of All Time. We are here with very much so a classic from my childhood, at least. Probably plenty of other people. Diablo. Now, I'd said before that we got our first computer in '96. And one of the first things that I recall doing on that computer, I'm not sure exactly when, but, pretty early on, I was probably around 6 or 7, was we downloaded a demo online for Diablo. And downloading a demo for a game in that point on the internet, I mean, that, for one, that was just like, that was insane. That didn't happen too often. And we had to leave it downloading overnight. But then the following morning, Sunday morning, before church, my dad and I sit down and we fire up the demo for Diablo. And it was just like, holy shit. And it's like ingrained in my memory, of course, because it's like, okay, 6-year-old kid, Diablo. And I remember thinking it was very interesting. That's how I always remember that it was a Sunday, because it was before we went to church, and here we are, like, slaughtering demons and shit like that. But yeah, of course, so we eventually did get Diablo when it released and all that. Or, I mean, we had Diablo. And, yeah, we put a good amount of time into Diablo. We played this quite a bit. This was one of the big early PC games for us, because this was not anything you were gonna find on like the Super Nintendo or anything like that. I mean, this was PC gaming with randomly generated levels and random loot all over the place, and like this sort of isometric action, and just a strong atmosphere of just dread and darkness and horror. And it was just like, wow, this was serious stuff. So yeah, we played a good amount of Diablo. I remember beating it a couple times, so I mean, for a kid, that was probably a lot of Diablo. um and it was good. It was good stuff. But then Diablo 2 came out, and yeah, I can't even begin to describe like the impact Diablo 2 had on pretty much anyone of gaming age at that time that was into PC gaming. I mean, Diablo 2, for us at least, I mean, it just blew Diablo 1 out of the fucking water. I mean, Diablo 1 could never hope to compare. I never had any interest ever in going back to Diablo 1, because 2 just improved on it so much. You had more classes, more loot, more levels, different acts and stuff like that, and um, skill trees, and oh my god, it was just such a big thing. And we put just hundreds and hundreds of hours into Diablo 2. We would have days, me and my brother, where we would just sit there literally like 16 hours straight on a weekend. From the moment you get up, the moment you go to bed, is just nothing but Diablo 2 and just like farming in Arcane Sanctuary. And yeah, I mean, just insane. But Diablo 1 was very, very good for its time. For that short window before Diablo 2 came out. Now, I already looked up just some discussions about best Diablo game. I already know the overwhelming opinion is that Diablo 2 is the best one, and probably, yeah. I mean, yeah. But there is a little bit of discussion about Diablo 1. And generally, the consensus for this game is that it does do the atmosphere better than any other Diablo game. it has that sort of sense of dread and the horror better than the other games. And if you've never seen footage of Diablo 1, I think you'll still get that sort of impression. Whereas Diablo 2 became a bit more cartoonish, Diablo 3 sort of even more cartoonish and just actiony, and, you know, no real sense of horror in Diablo 3. But, yeah, let's just play. This is the GOG release, so we have widescreen and stuff like that. It does include Diablo, like, Classic with SVGA graphics, but apparently it won't even work on my computer, so I don't know. Alright, so Diablo, you have 3 classes. The expansion for Diablo 1, which is Hellfire, adds the Monk. Basically a melee user proficient with the staff. And then it also had 2 unfinished characters that you can enable with a hack, the Bard and the Barbarian. The Bard's really interesting. I'm sad that's never made a return. So the Bard, you just use the sprite of the Rogue, the Barbarian uses the sprite of the Warrior. Bard can dual-wield weapons, while the Barbarian was a 2-handed axe specialist. So you have the 3 classes here, though, the Warrior, Rogue, Sorcerer. And they all start with different stats, and they each have a unique skill. But aside from that, you can sort of make them into anything that you want. You know, if you want your warrior to end up going heavier into magic and use a lot of spells, you can do that. So it's you know, akin to like a roguelike in that sense. Or most roguelikes. That it's just sort of a starting array and stuff, but you can work off of that. So let's be interesting, though, and go with Sorcerer. And there you have it. We'll let the nostalgia wash over you. Welcome to Tristram. This may look familiar to you if you play Diablo 2. Here's Deckard Cain. Cain the Elder.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and listen.
The story of Wirt is a frightening and tragic one. He was taken from the arms of his mother and dragged into the labyrinth by the small, foul demons that wield wicked spears.
Wicked spears. He's almost like doing a Connery impression there. So yeah, it's a single sort of hub location. There's no different acts wherein you travel to any other place. You always come back to Tristram here. And the game is structured so that you're basically continually descending below Tristram. So first you go into like the... what do they call it? What is the... I don't know what the first... the cathedral, right. So you go into the labyrinth underneath the cathedral. And then you go into some catacombs beneath that. And then you go down into the caves beneath that. So it's like natural sort of caves. And then finally underneath that is just hell. So there's that. There's a handful of bosses throughout the game. And of course the big bad at the end is the D-Man himself. Diablo. For our spells, we have Firebolt as a natural spell. It uses our mana. And we have Charge Bolt from our staff with 40 charges. So we can just equip that there. Here's your inventory. Start with 100 gold in our staff, as well as 2 mana potions.
Thank goodness.
And here's Griswold.
What can I do for you?
What can I do for you? He sells basic armor and stuff that we could buy, but we can just find. I mean, I don't know. Let's just see how tough it is. Let's see how tough it is. So Diablo 1 had, you know, a thriving multiplayer community when it came out. We didn't spend a lot of time online because it was just... We didn't have a lot of time each day on the internet due to dial-up stuff. And, you know, Diablo... At the time, you know, we just didn't have that much experience playing online, and Diablo just seemed like a single-player game, so I don't recall playing with other people all that much. Yeah.
Please, listen to me. The Archbishop Lazarus. He led us down here to find the lost prince. Bastard led us into a trap. Now everyone is dead, killed by a demon he called the Butcher. Avenge us! Find this butcher and slay him, so that our souls may finally rest.
There you go. There's your first quest. It's not in widescreen. I thought it might be.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Alright. So, I mean, it's very recognizable as a Diablo game. Here we got a cape. Shit. Yeah? Gotcha. Grab that falchion. We've got our auto map, of course.
Not enough mana.
Shit. A lot of scavengers, man. Another short staff. Potion of mana. Fountain of Tears. I don't remember what that does.
Not enough mana.
Not enough mana. I'm gonna get you. Gotcha. Scroll of Identify. Some more gold. Good, 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 good. So yeah, I mean, it's a much slower game than Diablo 2. You're not gonna just be rushing in headstrong into every situation. Yeah, music with like the screaming sounds and stuff. Pretty creepy back then for a 6-year-old kid. There's the stairs leading down. And yeah, the procedural generation for levels. That was pretty cool back then. You know, it added a lot to the replayability, because you never knew what to expect. So it was very different than, like, you know, Final Fantasy VI, where you always knew, you know, where to go, what to do. So we leveled up 5 points to distribute how we see fit. Probably want more mana. That's not a bad idea. Let's just go into that, because eventually you get the mana shield or whatever. So damage takes away from your mana instead of your health. But yeah, I would say the biggest thing that Diablo 2 improved on, as far as like an obsession sort of thing, was the loot. Diablo 2 greatly expanded on the loot system, and that's what made you want to just sit there and farm for 16 hours a day, which just didn't happen that much. I mean, maybe I was too young for Diablo 1 to really farm that much or anything, or have much interest in that. It was more about just getting to the end and beating Diablo. But I don't know. I don't think there's any denying the loot system was improved. I want to head back up. Spend our ill-gotten gains. Of course, there's town portals. Take you straight back from wherever you are, but we don't have any of those yet.
Not enough mana.
Not enough mana. Charge bolt's pretty good. Now, I have the ability to recharge my staff. Okay. I can just do that as much as I want, or... I mean, that's pretty good, then. That's a nice, unique skill. So is Diablo 1 one of the best games of all time? Even as someone that played a lot of Diablo 1 when it came out and really liked it, I would still say no. It's an extremely influential game. And it's certainly still a very playable, good game. And I think you could recommend it to someone insofar as if they're really interested in, like, the history of Diablo. Like, if someone said, oh, I really want to, like, try playing through the whole Diablo franchise, start to finish. Is Diablo 1 still, like, playable and everything? I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. No problem. But if someone came up to me and said, hey, Mangg, do you know a good, like, ARPG for me to play? I've never played one, or, you know, I've played a lot of the ones. I don't know when we'd ever get to the point of saying, oh yeah, play Diablo 1. Oh, I see. This lowers the max charges. Well, that makes sense then, doesn't it? Nope. I mean, in most ways, it's been supplanted by either Diablo 2 or 3. Especially with Diablo 2 remastered out. fact that they've never even bothered to remaster Diablo 1 tells you that just, like, they know there's not enough interest there. Because I don't even know what you would do with a remaster of this game. The problem isn't, like, the graphics or the sound or even the control systems. That's usually what a remaster works to fix. All that's basically fine. Yeah, there could be some quality of life stuff, but fundamentally the issue with the game is that it's the first ARPG, and there's just been too many improvements in the overall genre as far as loot and abilities and customization and things like that, which a remaster would not fix. A remake might fix, but at that point, just make Diablo 4 and make it good. You know, what do I really care about, like, the plot and the levels of Diablo 1? I don't, you know.
Not enough mana.
Oh, shit. Shit fuckers. And again, you know, like, I played this game a lot. Like, I was very familiar with Diablo 1. And I have some nostalgia for it, but that's like, you know, it's not enough.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
$100 to identify this shit? Eat my ass, Deckard Cain, with a dirty spoon. Spider Staff, plus 11 mana. That's probably worth it. We also got this cape. Cape of the Fox. Works for me.
Well, what can I do for you?
Yes. Yes. Is there really no character that just restores your mana and... Oh, fuck, that's right. And you... God damn it. To buy potions. Wait till you get a load of this. You gotta go all the way over here. With this slow-ass movement speed. I think Hellfire added, like, a run option, I believe.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
There we go. We did not own Hellfire when I was younger. Hellfire came out in... Let me see. That came out in 97? So the same year? Late 97. Yeah, okay. Compared to early 97. So much later than the same year. I think expansions in general in 97 were just like this sort of foreign concept. Like, that didn't happen with consoles or anything like that. You know, you never got an expansion. I'm trying to think of any expansions we owned when I was younger. I can't recall. Honestly, the first expansion we might have ever really gotten was Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. And that was like, I mean, talking about fucking expansions. That's one of the all-timers of just like basically necessary. It was such a massive improvement. It was like almost a new game. And I couldn't imagine playing Diablo 2 without it at this point. I know people do, and some people actually prefer it because it doesn't have the rune system. But, yeah, back in the day, it was just so fucking good. Alright, let's descend a little bit, because I don't think I can do a Diablo video without making it to the Butcher. So we might as well do that. So, obviously, the placements of the stairs... Oh, shit. It's quite the fucking horde. Placements of the stairs down are sort of algorithmically placed. So speedrunners actually, like, know how to figure that shit out. And can just sort of game the system to get stair placements in the most optimal spots. But I don't know none of that shit. You may be asking, how do you get new spells? Well, for that, you have to find spell books. Again, I mean, they were very inspired by roguelikes for a lot of the mechanisms. So yeah, you have to physically find spell books that you can then read and just learn a new spell. Scrolls, of course, allow you to do one-time casts. But we want more than that. So hopefully we find a bookshelf. That was a lot of enemies, though. Mucho enemies. Ow! Damn Diablo and his damn traps. If I actually learn the spell for Charge Bolt, that would be awesome. So, I mean, it's an interesting way of doing spells, and obviously it works for more traditional roguelikes and all that, but the Diablo 2 way, you know, the sort of the standard way of doing it, just putting points into things and just having them, goes a long way for, like, ease of play, I suppose, for the average person. Nice. More magic. We want max mana for when we get mana shield. Enemy variety, another sort of improved aspect for Diablo 2. Like that shit right there, that was scary as a kid, man. Just opening a door and there's a room full of monsters. That sound they make, ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, if we don't find a town portal scroll, and we want to go back, it's quite the walk. Probably should have bought one, if able, I don't remember. Nice. Get those level ups. Uh-oh. Bone Ripper, I remember him. Is he immune to fire magic? Shit, that's pretty bad. Not a whole lot I can do about that, other than equipping a dagger and going to town. I can use a scroll of lightning. Nice. It's using your noggin. Staff charge bowl. Might have to use that. Puke the unclean, of course.
Not enough mana.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the average dude. Let's not be foolish here. Got him. Oh, I didn't get him. I lied to you. Now we got him. Got a unique falchion. Yeah, I mean, it's not a fast-paced game. And that's a big dead end. Yikes. I think some people are like bothered if you play with the map on, but I've you know, spent so many hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours with the map on in both Diablo 1 and 2. Like, most of the time I don't even see it. Hey, Book of Firebolt, fuck. Fuck. Don't need that shit. Here we are. You always could tell his room. Very unique. So, yeah, there are a few things that I remember from my childhood when it comes to, like, horror. One was being shown Resident Evil intro when I was a kid in the dark. One was the Skulltulas or whatever, the spider things from Ocarina of Time. Like, I refused to play that game for a while because of those. Another was watching Independence Day at, like, an outdoor theater when I was very young. The scene in, like, the lab when the alien gets loose and, like, starts controlling the doctor and stuff, that fucking... Whew. And then there's this, the Butcher. I have no potions. This is going to go well.
Fresh meat.
Yep, fuck. Oh, and I never saved, so that's the end. Yeah, the Butcher. My god, it was so traumatizing every time I encountered him. Because it's just this room filled with dead bodies and gore and stuff like that. And you know he's in there. Like, you always knew he was in there, and you know you have to kill him. But then you open the door, and he just says, "Oh, fresh meat," and he just fucking bum rushes you. Like, compared to every other enemy that's just kind of meanders around most of the time, he bum rushes you with this giant cleaver and just hacks away. Oh my god. Terrifying. So there you go. I guess that's a fitting end. So that's Diablo 1. Like I said, a good game, a still playable game, but unfortunately just so massively outclassed in its own franchise and by a lot of other ARPGs in general. Just due to having really outdated sort of genre mechanics, like loot and skills and spells and things like that. Um, yeah. So I'm not trying to shit on it or anything like that. Um, you know, people still like it. Some people still play it and all that. But yeah. I mean, just for me, it's just a bit too dated at this point. Alrighty. My name is Mangg. This has been Mangg Plays the Best Games of All Time with Diablo. I'll see you fine folks next time.